Hello and welcome once again for coming to the Open Call 2 SURE5.0 Open Call 2 Q&A session, the first one for this open call that we are organizing. Today with you is myself, Milana Sekulic from F-Success Innovation, and Antonio Damasceno, and we'll have a few more partners as well. So if you don't mind, I will go right to the next slide. So SURE5.0, who we are. We are 11 partners in total from 8 countries, with Aerospace Valley as the project coordinator. Well, the partners comes from different sectors that we are targeting, and mainly those are mobility, transport and automotive, aerospace and defense, and electronics. These 3 strategical industrial ecosystems that are deemed as crucial and beneficial for sorry, apologies, I see that my window is a bit too large. Okay, better now. So SURE5.0 is targeting these 3 strategic industrial ecosystems, and that's why the project, the EU-funded project, aims to support European SMEs to advance in their digital transformation process while becoming more human-centric, sustainable, and resilient in these 3 strategic ecosystems. So here you can see, kind of summarize the key facts about the project. As we said, our topics include for SMEs going digital and green at the same time via advanced technologies for industry, while also including social innovation in their production process. We have quite a neat budget for it, with more than 2.6 million euros being devoted to SMEs for financing their Industry 5.0 transformation projects, and all of it happening in the duration of 36 months. So what can we offer to SMEs? Well, besides the open call, the funding and the services that we already mentioned, we're here to give you the Industry 5.0 assessments and the webinars where you can learn a bit more about Industry 5.0 and these main 3 principles that I've just mentioned. You can also do networking and e-learning through our events. But in a nutshell, we do expect to have around 1,000 SMEs involved, with 700 of them being engaged in project activities. 100 of them will be provided with individual assessments and services, while 53 in total will receive financial support. How will that look like? Well, if you're an SME that is requiring support to transform your production process, what you can get from the project is, first of all, the self-assessment. This is something I will talk a bit more and show you afterwards. Self-assessment is basically this online tool that we have, and it gives you the ability to do it online and to receive the automatic recommendations. Any SME from our key industrial ecosystems can participate. The same goes for our Industry 5.0 awareness webinars. You can learn a bit more about upcoming dates and topics on our website and through our social media. And SMEs filling the last questionnaire will be automatically invited. But to access these tailored services, the financing help, and all needed to actually do the Industry 5.0 transformation, you need to apply, of course, for the Acceleration program, in this case, Acceleration Program 2. How else can you participate in the project? Well, if you're not one of the manufacturing SMEs that we just mentioned in the previous slide, you can always join us as a service provider. So basically, we have a catalog of complementary service providers that could be there to help the SMEs from the Acceleration program to implement their Industry 5.0 transformation plan. We'll talk a little bit later about it afterwards, how you can be included in this. But for now, it's important to say that you do have a link to the catalog in the chat. And if you're any other stakeholder interested in SURE5.0, you're more welcome to check out our Community of Practice of Alliance, it's a LinkedIn group. So if you are, like we said, in the first group of people wanting to join the Acceleration Program 2 via Open Call 2, here are the benefits that you can get. So we said that you are first going through the self-assessment, but those are just automatic recommendations, while through the program, itself, you can actually get a more in-depth assessment with the help of our consortium partners, which would help you to assess the gaps and your current situation of your basically your level of readiness to transition toward Industry 5.0, which in the end, with all these recommendations, would give you a so-called individual roadmap for Industry 5.0 transition. With this kind of roadmap, you would have a bigger picture of what is needed for you to prepare for the phase 2, right? To understand what kind of advanced training program would work for you. As you could see on the website in the guide, we actually have a list of training modules on Industry 5.0 topics, with one compulsory and others that you can actually modify towards your needs, choose towards your needs. You will also have the support in social innovation and human centricity, another training-based program. You will get a guide to tell you a bit more about this innovative concept to be included in your production process. And you will also have the investment readiness support. Investment readiness support in phase 1 will help you to see your investment readiness level, to assess it. While in phase 2, if you're accepted, you can actually get further business consultancy services about the creation of the business plan and seeking the funding advices, everything that is needed according to this production process that actually includes Industry 5.0. Last but not least, we're also having technological services for the uptake of the best technologies for industry, and the support of the catalog, these external service providers, which alongside consortium partners will be eligible as part of the phase 2 funding to help you to develop Industry 5.0 plan. Because in the end, the goal is to, like we said, get the roadmap, get the services of phase 1, and get prepared so you can actually submit your Industry 5.0 transition plan in phase 2, which is where you also get the equity-free funding. So how does the timeline look like? Now you're in the application period, right? And you actually have 3 cutoff phases, with first one finishing on October 25th, 2023. Then the second one will be happening on January 3rd, 2024. And the final one for phase 1 happening on February 2024. So after the weeks of evaluation after each cutoff, if you're selected, you will be notified, and then you can start the program depending on the cutoff at which you were accepted, starting from December 2023 and until the end of July 2024. We expect to have 83 SMEs in phase 1 included. What happens if you went through the phase 1 successfully? Well, that's when you're actually ready to submit your Industry 5.0 plan, which is, as you know, already your plan of how exactly you want to include these Industry 5.0 principles in your production process. And you will have application period lasting from February 24 to July 24, divided again into cutoff dates. Phase 2 program functions similarly. After the evaluation, you will be accepted in the program, and we expect to have at least 36 SMEs participating in the program for May 24 and April 25, working on actually implementing the Industry 5.0 plan, and of course using the 50K equity-free according to their plan submitted. So who can apply? This is a very important part. As we said, if you comply with all of the following conditions, you're actually eligible to apply for the call. So the first criteria is being an SME according to the European Commission recommendation and the SME qualification guide, something that you can both find in our guide, website, and application form. You're also supposed to be an SME established in the European Union or EU associated countries, and to be an SME that is operating in the sectors that we mentioned: mobility, transport, automotive, aerospace and defense, and electronics manufacturing value chain. But most importantly, we said that the focus is on the manufacturing process. So yes, we include manufacturing companies, producers of at least one product, or assemblers if they sell the products afterwards. You can also be a software or a producer, but only if you focus on the production part of the company. So that's the key part, right? Who is not eligible? If you are any of the people listed above, but you do not have any link with the manufacturing process, so you're also not a producer or service provider or software only provider. Also, if you're not in our industrial ecosystem. So yeah, this is the full, let's say, eligibility criteria. We invite you to check it in depth while going through the guide. And if you have any questions, you can always ask us directly about this as well. No worries. How to apply? So we said first that the first step is the self-assessment tool. This is something that every SME can participate in, but it is a compulsory part to apply to the open call. So I will just briefly open the self-assessment so you can see how it looks like. So yeah, this is the online platform. As I said, you already have it in the chat. But you also have it in the open call website page and the guide. So we made sure to have the link visible, and so you can start doing your assessment immediately. And once you have done the self-assessment, you finalize it, you're ready to apply for phase 1. So I will go briefly to the application form. This is how it looks like. It's hosted at the F6S platform. By the way, the first thing that you should do is join as the company to the platform. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's just it's a button in the beginning of the application form where you leave your basic info about the company, create a profile, and with this one you will be able to proceed with the application form at the F6S platform. So how does the application form look like? So it consists of 2 parts. The first part is a general one where you leave in your legal data, such as your name, your VAT number, and the city, country, street address. So basic info, company website, as well as the basic info about at least one contact person. Here you have the link where you are supposed to fill it out and showcase this way that you do qualify as an SME. So yes, please don't forget this, check it out, because this way you're checking if you're actually complying with the rules of the European Commission that are set up, to define the SMEs. So yes, once you answer these general questions, you're going to eligibility to showcases which value chain you belong to, and then you can start answering, the questions. So yeah, you also have the part of double funding and conflict of interest, but again, more the administrative stuff. The most important part we actually rate through the evaluation will be these questions, starting from the SME's manufacturing context, where you explain your overall company strategy, type of product, the sector you operate in, but also how aware are you of the Industry 5.0 principles, how important these 3 main principles are to you, and how you would love to enhance the implementation of these principles in your company. What kind of impact do you see if you become part of our program? And to actually describe your implementation strategy, the team that it be allocated to this transformation. So we actually see that you have enough resources devoted to be part of the program. At the end, you have the place to upload your self-assessment report, which is quite an important part, because this is how we prove that you actually have gone through the self-assessment. And one thing to highlight is that, as you can see, you have in percentages here how much is like let's say the value of each section during the evaluation, and of course how many words are allowed for each section. So there is a let's say word limit, so please take that into consideration when filling out the application form. In the end, it's referrals and resubmission part. So yes, that's the technical annex in a nutshell. Phase 2 application comes, as we said, later on, but now, as we mentioned, we are in the period of the first cutoff. So why we say that you should hurry up and apply for this one is because we will have approximately 40 SMEs in the cutoff one, but it's indicating number. So it means that if there are more applications that are crossing, being above the threshold, that means that they also have a chance to be part of the first cutoff, therefore then less space in other cutoffs. So we definitely suggest to be fast and secure your place on time. So all of these that I actually explained now is, as we said, summarized in the guide for applicants, also on the website page. I will open both of the links. So this is the website page. We have a page dedicated to just the open call. Just a little bit of technicalities when opening it. Nevertheless, actually we have it, yeah, okay. So yeah, this is the page, and pretty much you have everything summarized here. But the official terms and conditions of the call are here in the guide. So please take a look at the guide before you start applying, so you can actually read slowly and in depth about the eligibility criteria that we just mentioned, the support provided, and the aftermath of when you get accepted. So step by step, right? If you have any question, of course, you're invited to pose it now in the Q&A section that I mentioned in the Zoom webinar. But you can also ask us directly afterwards. So we do have a help desk. If you have a question related to the open call itself, no matter what that question is related to, please write to help@sureproject.eu. On the other hand, if you do have any issues with the F-Success platform itself, we have a help desk for that as well. It's reachable through the support@fsuccess.com. The other ways to stay informed about the progress of the project is by subscribing to our newsletter, checking it out via social media. We have a LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube account, and as you mentioned, generally speaking, at the website project. So this would be a whole presentation about the open call in a nutshell. And now we open the floor to questions. And thank you so much for this part. In fact, I will go one slide back so you have this in front of you, always open to remind you. Yes, so that we can definitely answer a little bit more information about the financial support. So yes, you will get the 50K in the phase 2. It's equity free. What you can use this financial support for is to actually implement the Industry 5.0 transition plan. That's why in the phase 2 application, we're actually describing your plan, what you will need the finances for, and on top of the services delivered by the consortium partners, you'll be able to use the funding for the catalog of external service providers. So for example, you have a specific aspect, a specific advanced technology that you would love to implement in your factory, and you would need additional support, then any external service provider from the catalog is actually eligible as part of your expenses. You can also suggest your own service provider, but the only condition is that this external service provider is also included in our catalog. So it's all covered based on our rules. You can see in the guide for applicants actually the rules of the payments, like when they actually happen. It's a lump sum. So you will be able to see, grant actually. So you will be able to see what is needs to be done to actually activate the payments, and what activate the payment is actually you showing us that there is actually an Industry 5.0 action going on in your company. But as I said, the main part is, phase 2 Industry 5.0 transition plan, where you actually are planning your activities and your finances for the 50K. We are a tech company. What we do is program, sell, and install IoT products. Do you think that we are eligible? Let's go back to the slide about eligibility. So you can apply if you're a software producer. You do have to have at least one product, right, that you're selling, but you also have to have a production process of it. So you're a software company, but you are involved you have a production inside of your company. That's also a very important part. You're not just focusing on the production of another company. But if you are, like we said, producer of at least one product, or assemblers, but you were selling the product afterwards, and a software-based company, but you're actually trying to boost not the production part of your company, that's when you're actually eligible to apply for the program. So I suggest that inside your company, you see actually what are your needs, either software or the production based. But yes, you are definitely not on the red list. So just have to check the full eligibility criteria. Anybody else has a question? Was this enough of an answer for the person asking? If not, feel free to write to us via the email soon after the call as well. We can go more in details with you and help anybody with any part of the application. The same goes not just for the eligibility, but it also goes for, asking questions about the program or the application form if something is not clear enough to you. So feel free to write to us. But as we said, who is not eligible? No link with the manufacturing production process inside of your company. If we answered all of your questions, we hope that you enjoyed it. But again, you can always write to us via email, and we are looking forward to your applications. As we said, you have a period of 3 cutoffs. And we have to highlight that, yes, if you're applying for a specific cutoff, so make sure that you are securing your place on time. In fact, more rules about the any kind of resubmission or participant in a cutoff stage. We also advise you to go and check it in the guide. You also have a frequently asked section, a frequently asked questions section on the website, where we make sure to have all of the things detailed for you. But if in some case something is not clear enough regarding the timeline, also feel free to write to us. For anything else, thank you so much. And yeah, see you, I guess, on October 25th.